Greg Siegel, Vice President of Partnerships at Docomo Digital. Great to have you with us.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for your time.
Greg, what are some of the exciting trends in digital services that you're seeing from a partnership perspective?
So in terms of trends, I would say there's a lot of activity right now. We see massive growth in streaming, for example, and streaming can be music and video. That's growing in many ways, even the type of video that we're on right now, of course. Gaming has shifted tremendously from the old days of console and PC to console quality on mobile. Dating. So every flavor of dating, even if you look at somebody like a Match.com, where they have plenty of fish and pairs and Tinder all across the globe in different locations. So that's a big trend as well. Educational technology is massively growing. People learning at home, of course. That could be language, that could be trades, that could be business skills as well. Health and wellness. Health and wellness is growing massively right now. People doing yoga at home or all types of mental relaxation techniques, all on their phones as well. And then, of course, you see around you every day, mobile is driving food delivery. So the Grubhubs and the Uber Eats are big trends. And then lastly, I'd say to wrap it all up and protect it, we have productivity types of apps. So we have our social and our video games, etc. But we also have security, for example. We need VPN software to protect it. And these are the growing trends that I see today.
Docomo Digital works with hundreds of merchants around the world, Greg. What exactly are merchants looking for from carrier partnerships?
Sure. Great question again. From a merchant perspective, of course, they're businesses. So number one, they're going to look for is growth and revenue. They want to win what we call unbanked users in the market that they own. So they already own their own credit card type users, but now they want to win the unbanked users in the same markets. And they also want economies of scale. So many times they'll be looking at not just a telco partner, but telco group partners as well. And we work with some of the major groups around the world, like a Hutchison or a Vodafone, for example. They also, as any other business, want the right fit with their customer base. And that's critical. In addition, one of the key points that's really important to merchants is marketing. It's one thing to partner with a carrier, but it's also critical to be able to have the right marketing to drive customers to the application, and that could be marketing from their own merchant side, but also from the carrier side as well. And what else is so important from a marketing perspective is the user experience, and that must be a seamless user experience, simple, something that's familiar to the customer. So when they see a payment page, for example, they don't go running off because they don't recognize it. And last of all, I keep mentioning this point, but they are businesses. So as we talk about concierge type services, so they would rather focus on the customer and do the things that they're good at rather than handle taxes and foreign exchange and regulatory and compliance, key areas that we can provide in terms of a concierge service.
And when a merchant is looking to expand beyond its home market, Greg, what are some of the most important considerations that they should be taking into account?
So like any business, they have to make sure it's the right market. The right operator partner. For example, I spoke earlier about productivity, which is a high ARPU market, postpaid market versus say a social or a dating, which is a lot younger consumer in a growth market. Also, I'd like to mention the fact about wallets versus direct carrier billing markets, targeting youth markets or growth markets or markets where they just don't have the credit card and banking background for that. Niche markets, like a niche markets versus mass market. Mass market in music would be a Spotify versus a niche market like a Tidal for specific concerts and music types. And then the brand fit, for example, the Match Group has 4 or 5 main different types of dating apps, and they will apply in different markets around the world. You also have to think globally and act locally. It's important because understanding your local markets is key. From a credit card penetration perspective, we know that the US has, for example, 70% credit card penetration. Indonesia has 2%, Germany has 46%. And then if we extend that into the regulatory, tax, and business model perspective, these are key considerations for expansion. Do they have these capabilities, and how complex is that? And then again, the time to market and deployment cost is huge for businesses. They want to deploy quickly, and they want to work with a partner that's going to enable them to move much faster and efficiently without having to have massive resources. Some other things to think about along this concept are deep carrier relationships. They want a partner who knows the carriers well and has group telco relationships. Innovative business models, very important. Concierge type of payment services. And of course, I would add one piece about marketing. Marketing, data, and analytics helps to really understand the customer in the world today that's changing so quickly.
Greg, it's obviously a very exciting market and one we'll follow closely. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts today.
My pleasure. Thanks as well.